What is up, guys? This is Viperstealth. If you know me, you know that I love my skill builds. This is a skill build. It's really fun to use. So no adverts, no BS. Let's get straight into it to not waste your time. So what we've got here is 3 primary weapons. I'll take these through those first. We've got all the gear, and then we've got a couple of skills and a specialization, of course. So let's cover this first. It is a skill build, so we've got 6 yellows, no reds, no blues. And what we've got first is the Capacitor. I picked mine up from the summit, but just check online as the instructions for how to get the Capacitor yourself. It is an exotic weapon, so you won't find it laying around everywhere easily. So just check the rules online, as when you watch this video it may be out of date. So do a quick search for that. But the benefit of this weapon isn't so much the stats, so don't worry too much about how high your rolls are. The important thing is the talent. So we've got capacitance, and this talent is really useful. There's 2 parts to it. The first part is that shooting enemies builds a stack with a max cap of 40. And for each stack you get 1.5% skill damage. So if you've got 40 stacks and it's 1.5 skill damage, you get up to 60% extra skill damage. That's pretty amazing. So just from shooting at an enemy. So all you need to do is repetitively shoot an enemy and you'll get 60% extra skill damage. Now it does decay if you stop shooting enemies, but the decay is much slower than how quickly it takes you to gain them. So it's a fantastic ability. And on top of this, for every yellow skill tier, you gain 7.5% weapon damage. So this is fantastic because you got 6 in this build, 6 skill tiers. So you're getting 7.5 for each one of these skill tiers, and you've got 6 of them. So it's a fantastic benefit. Next up is another assault rifle. So even though this looks a bit like an SMG, it is actually an assault rifle, and we've got a second assault rifle, and this one is called Test Subject. So this has got perfectly in sync. Now if you don't have Test Subject, just go for in sync, or you could also go for the Talent Spike, but I prefer in sync. And the reason why is because it kind of doubles up with the same playstyle as the primary weapon. For every enemy you shoot, you get 20% skill damage for 5 seconds, and for every enemy you damage with a skill, you get 20% weapon damage. So they play off each other quite nicely. All you need to do is shoot enemies and your skills do more damage, and your skills will automatically shoot at enemies and you get more weapon damage. So it's really nice synergy. On top of this, if both of these little parts are active at the same time, your damage increase is doubled. So it goes from 20 to 40. So you get 40% skill damage and 40% weapon damage. So I find this type of subject quite handy to swap over to if for some reason the capacitors run out of ammo, like in terms of bullets, and it needs a reload. I just swap over to this quickly and finish off the enemy with this gun. But they are both assault rifles, so unfortunately your ammo pool does not double. It actually halves compared to if you had an SMG and an assault rifle. So to keep that in mind, you've got 1 ammo pool. I go for the sidearm of the Maxim 9, and this is a special weapon with a special talent. It's got perfect spike, which means headshots grant 25% extra skill damage for 15 seconds. So if things get particularly nasty, all I do is sit in cover with this weapon. It's got unlimited ammo, and I just hit heads for 15 seconds. You know, every 15 seconds, just aim up, pop someone in the head, go back down his cover, and that normally enables me enough time and space to pick up some ammo from a deceased enemy. So these weapons work really well for this build, and yeah, you could go for different varieties. I do use the capacitor most of the time, so this does free up these slots, but I would recommend something like this. Moving on, next we've got 3-piece Empress International, so a really useful gear set, and what it is basically skill health, skill damage, and skill efficiency. So skill health, self-explanatory. Skill damage, also I hope self-explanatory. Skill efficiency is a combination of many things, so it would be things like skill haste, skill damage, skill health. So skill efficiency is really useful to have indeed. So I always go for the 3-piece of this instead of choosing 1-piece Wyvern, which will give you 10% skill damage. So you want 3-piece Empress International. The second thing that I should mention, I've gone for the mask, gloves and knees. It's not really essential what order you go for. We do want the talents that I'll cover in a second, but I've gone for this combination. And also what you want to do is make sure that you've got maximum skill damage. That's the first attribute that you're recalibrating for, and then you want to fall back onto skill haste. So skill haste, if this is halfway and skill damage is maximum, you're happy with that. That's fine. You don't need maximum skill haste, but if you have both, that's fantastic, but just prioritize skill damage first. So next up we've got the bag and the vest. So I'll cover the bag first. This is a very special bag because it is the perfect combined arms from Hanayu. I've got 2 pieces of Hanayu, one on the vest and one on the back, and that gives me skill haste and skill damage. So perfect combined arms is shooting at an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. So as long as you're shooting at the enemy, you're doing another 30% damage, which is really nice. This all adds up and stacks up very nicely. But the Hanayu is the only piece of gear on the bag to have perfect combined arms. So you can find combined arms, but it's not quite as powerful. So I've gone for perfect combined here, and it also plays into this brand set of having skill haste and skill damage. Moving on to the vest, we have got the excellent talent of Glass Cannon. Now all damage you deal is amplified by 25%, so amplified is worth much more than just adding on skill damage. This really heaps up the damage of your build. However, all damage you take is amplified by 50%, so you are literally a glass cannon. This isn't so bad, you just want to stay in cover and at the distance, shooting at the enemies while your skills are going forward and doing the real damage. So that's what I've done there. Notice on this piece, unfortunately, I've got status effects. This would be fantastic if this was skill haste, but it's not really a problem because my skill haste is ridiculously fast anyway. I've got about 130% skill haste in total from all of these 12% mods and all my attributes being really high. So those are the 5 pieces of Hanayu and Empress International. And the last piece is this, it's Waveform. So again, just in case you're watching this video out of date, just do a quick search online to see how you get the Waveform, because it is an exotic weapon and it may not drop for you easily in the open world. But again, skill damage, skill haste, this rolls automatically with this exotic, and depending on how many exotics you get or whether you recalibrate them for higher specs, you can get its maximum. But I thought 9.4% was almost 10% maximum, so I'm happy with that. And the talent here is alternating current. So you generate a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, and this caps at 10 stacks. Now after 10 seconds at the cap, the stacks transfer to the other skill, and this process just repeats ad infinitum, so it just repeats non-stop. So all of these stacks build up the longer your skills are out, which is fantastic for skills such as these. I've gone for the striker turret and I've gone for the drone and also the turret, so these are like really good skills for this build. So the playstyles I mentioned: hang back, shoot bullets from a distance, but make sure you're still shooting the enemy consistently for the capacitor and the perfect combined arms. You need to keep the fire rate up, otherwise your skills will reduce in damage significantly. And as I mentioned, I've gone for the assault turret and also the striker drone. So the striker drone here, it's really nice. It's got a base damage of 82,500, and on the turret also a very respectable 136,000. Now when both of these are going with the skills active, you're looking at over 250,000, so 250,000 damage per tick. So that's really quite nice. And yeah, with both of these going on one enemy and you shooting at them at the same time, you're really walloping the damage. I've also gone for EMP grenades instead of the standard concussion grenades. I just like the EMPs because of any dogs or anything like that, the warhounds that you get in the game, but that can be extremely useful, this setup. So it's a really simple build to play. Just hang back, send your skills forward, attacking the enemy, and just keep peppering the enemies with shots, and you're going to be doing significant damage in a very easy way. So this has been Viperstealth. If you want to watch me stream, come follow me on Twitch. Their name in Twitch is Viperstealth. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, or if you've got any questions, I'll do everything I can to help you out. Again, this has been Viperstealth. Have a fantastic day. Take care.